Hello, today is August 30th, it's Saturday, and I am coming to you with another update. Welcome to my little corner of stitchy, I don't know, whatever this is. Sometimes it's chaos, sometimes it's like complete Dolesville, so we'll see. We'll see what this week's holds. Here are what I'm going to be working on this week. So the first one I'm just pulling off my bed is Birthday Cake by Carolyn Manning. Here is what it's going to look like. And here is where I'm starting the week. So I'm doing this on a 32 count linen by Grace Notes. This is Agua Fresca. So I'm coming down this page down here, which I think is page 4. This is page 1 here, working into page 2. Now I'm coming down for page 4. I do have a mistake in here a little bit. I think it showed up in this, yeah, this pink one right here. So I'm just fudging it, and I gotta fudge it all the way down, but over shouldn't be a problem. It's just down. And then I'm working on my Wellerman SAL. This is the Wellerman by Wombat Stitching. If you would like to join us on this, there are a couple of people doing this. Use the hashtag Wellerman SAL, and there's a link to the pattern below. It's a start along. It's not a stitch along. Stitch at your own pace. We're just all starting at about the same time. But here's what it's gonna look like. And here's where I'm starting. I've got a little fish going here. These fishes go all the way around the border. And then a lighthouse right here. So I'll probably still work on something. I think I'll do the border last. But yeah, it's a cute little pattern here. Okay, sorry, I had to grab the others. So then is my whip go for August. I just have a few more days on this. We have Henry VIII by Heaven and Earth Designs, was by Hansel by and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And here is where I'm starting on that. So just kind of bringing this dark blue 939 down and across. And the Eclipse, which I had to restart and then restart again because I started it too high. I don't even know where it is. I don't know where it's at. It's around here somewhere, but I have to restart it. It's on a black fabric, 28 count Joblin. Here's a picture of it, what it's gonna look like. So I started it too high. I need to move it down. So I'm just, instead of completely frogging it, I'm just gonna flip it over and start it again. So that's that. And then September whip go starts on Monday. So I have The Possibilities by Walking Melons, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And here is my starting point for that. So I'll probably just keep going with the black. I may take it further over, maybe as far over as I can go so that I don't get the lines. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how the mood strikes me. And then I have what I'm calling my Joy Sampler. It's actually called Down in the Valley by Annie B. Svolkart. And instead of her name in here, I'm gonna put my name, my date of birth. And yeah, it says, down in the valley so low, hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Roses are red, love, violets are blue. Angels in heaven know I love you. So I think it's beautiful, but I'm doing this on a 32 count orchid. I think it's by Zweigart. This was one of my Stitch 60s not too long ago. And so I have Angels in Heaven, Know I Love You. And here I did center start. So I'm gonna go up and start working on the line above. So I wanna get all the words in here and then I can start doing the stuff on the outside. So, but I love this purple, it's my favorite color. So I was like, the one with my name on it, I'm going to do my way, in my purple. So, okay, so then I'm going to stitch, you know what, no, hold on. Here's another one. So I'm working on a sock. This is the Jack and Jill sock by what is her name? Oh, it's in here somewhere. Snowdrop Crochet. Snowdrop creates. That's what the sock's gonna look like. And this is my test one, doing on some yarn that I just got from Temu. It's a fingering weight yarn. No color name, but it's like kind of red, white, and blue. So it's gonna be kind of thick because these are all single crochets. This is the toe. So, oops, it's gotta go this way. So, but it's fun. It's a fun thing to learn. And it's actually really fun to crochet. So, yeah, but I had told you in my last video that I injured my stitching hand. And so I'm gonna wait until I have no pain to start this. So that may be this week, it may not be, I don't know. All right, so that is all my regular stuff. I'm gonna spin my wheel. Let me just make sure that I've taken everything off of it that should be off of it. Okay, so I'm only gonna stitch 2 because there are a couple of focuses that I want to start. So okay, my super secret 2, which is secret, so I'll just show you my starting. I'm not going to show you where I'm at. And then oh, my November cottage of the month, how fun. Okay, I don't think I've started that one yet, so that'll be fun. All right, so I'll be right back while I grab those. Okay, so I gotta show you these new project things that I got. The name of it's on here, so, but yeah, instead of the little plastic sacks, the Ziploc bags, there we go. I'm gonna try these because they stand up better, and I have labels that I put on them like that so that I can, you know, see what they are easier. So let me grab this one out. This is a black and white portrait, a little mini portrait that I started working on. So if you're unfamiliar with my Stitch 60, it's where I spin the wheel and pull those projects and work on them for 60 minutes. Just try to get some progress done on them, but here we are. So this is gonna be at the corner of his head. So this is a 32 count, I think, by Pictures Plus. I don't remember the name of it, but it's gorgeous red. Love it. And then my November cottage of the month. This is one of my ones for Flossmas. You've seen these all over the place. I am going to be stitching this one on and I haven't started this one yet. I think this is Stormy. Yeah, 32 count Stormy, maybe by Zweigart. So it's just this really nice gray kind of color, which I think the fall colors will look really good on that. So, yay! I'm excited to start that one. So I have fabric being delivered today for my US travel shelf. This is an Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Looking forward to really starting that. So I know I started the year saying that I was going to whip down, but at the same time I have all these patterns and I'm like, you know what, I really want to like get working on them. And I don't like the fact that I have a stash of patterns that aren't started yet. So I think I'd rather have whips than spend money on patterns that I'm never going to do anything with. So I did, who was it? Is Rebecca from Beck Stitches Everything, I think is her channel name. She was showing pictures of, or she was showing her whips from Hands Across the Sea. And honestly, I'm not a huge sampler person, so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna really dip my toe into the Hands Across the Sea world. But Hands Across the Sea world. Oh my goodness. But I was looking because she showed something that was a free pattern from their website, and which I absolutely loved. It was this floral pattern. And I was like, oh, I want that. But I kind of have this thing about going and grabbing the free patterns and not paying for a pattern. So I was like, okay, I want to go buy one. And I think I bought 2 of them. And I forgot to put that in my haul. So I'll add that to the haul this week. What was my point there? I don't even remember. I had a point for saying that. I don't remember what it was. So yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna start US Travel Shelf by Amy Stewart, and then I have another pattern that I charted called St. Peter's in Spring. It is a picture that I took that I'll put right here when I was in Germany. This is a church that my brother-in-law and sister-in-law got married in this spring. I was just out exploring and the church was across the street from our Airbnb, and so I went around and I mean, you can see from the picture, it was just beautiful. So I was like, okay, I want to stitch that. So I charted it myself, and I used Wind Stitch, and it's kind of big with a lot of colors, but I'm going to pull, I don't know, some blue in the sky. I don't remember what color it was, and I'm gonna get started on that as well. So I have a lot of stitching to do this week. I'm going to go get started and I'll be back with an update. And I totally forgot, here's another one. This one should be pretty quick. This is one I'm doing for a friend she's kind of been going through a rough time. I'm going to be doing this one called I Am Brave. I believe it's by Emily Call Stitching. I'm gonna do this on this embroidery cotton that I got from Hobby Lobby. It's a very neutral kind of one, and I'm going to use Colonial Rose by Classic Colorworks. Slightly variegated. I sent her a picture. She doesn't know I'm doing this, but I sent her a picture because I cannot remember how she decorated her house. I sent her a picture of some different Classic Colorworks threads, and I was like, hey, what combination do you like best? So she chose this. So I'm going to do this. Hopefully this will be a quick stitch. Yeah, so anyway, I'll be back with an update. I've been awake for maybe an hour, and I went to bed way too late last night, so I'm a little morning-ish right now. But let's talk about what I did this week. So I did not work on WIPGO. I was finishing up I worked on August WIPGO. So you guys like my new little project bag things? I decided, so I have them all in a plastic tote, and I was like having to dig through, you know, and try to figure out, because I was using plastic bags, and it was hard to find projects in this tote because these plastic bags don't stand up, especially if they barely have anything in them. So I went and I got a bunch of these off Amazon, and I put the name up here so that I can just go through like a file and find them. So this is Solar Eclipse. The only thing I don't like about it is this is Velcro. Makes a lot of noise, so sorry. This one I was restarting, and that's the back. I was like, why does it look so bad? So I was trying to start from upper left-hand corner, but I'm not stitching the background, and I started it too high, so I had to restart it. So this time around, I decided to just start from the middle. So here's where I'm at. Oh, that's showing up really well, much better than in person. There's not that much contrast between the fabric and the thread in person. So yeah, that's just my little bit that I got. So anyway, so that one did not do well with WIPGO. Next was Henry VIII. And I love him so much. I enjoyed stitching him. So here's where it was when I started the week, and here's where I am now. So just filling in the blue right there. I don't think I did a ton, but I got some done. So anyway, so I did not start September WIPGO yet. I had spun my wheel, and I have this portrait that I'm working on. Here's where he was before, and I decided to go through and get some of these parked threads out of the way. So I don't know why this thing is full coverage. I don't know why I decided to do it on linen, other than the fact that it's red, but I could have gotten like a red Ada. I don't know. I don't know what, I started this in December, so I don't know what December Joy's brain was thinking. But anyway, here's him. You know what? I know what I was thinking. I was thinking I want to use fabric from Stash, and I had this in Stash, and I love the red. So, because I'm going to leave a border of the red going around. But anyway, so there's that. It's the side of his head. So, yeah. That was part of my stitch 60. The other part of my stitch 60 was my November cottage. And this was a start. And here's where I got to. So I started doing that top border there, and I got some of the leaves. This top border is Weeks Dye Works, and it's a variegated thread. I think it's mocha, variegated thread, but it's it goes for long stretches without changing shades of brown. So the part that I cut didn't have any of the variegation on it. This one is a sampler thread, so you can see a bit of the variegation. It looks much more variegated on the floss card. But when you pull the thread, it's not too bad, but it's gorgeous. When I first pulled it out, the color was, I don't remember the color, but I pulled it out, I was like, it's yellow. I was like, okay, it's obviously like leaves. I was like, this can't be right. And then I sat down and I was like, well, it's the November cottage, so it's probably actually right. And it was, but I think this one's gonna be gorgeous. So. All right. Then one that I pulled out is a gift for a friend. You might have seen it on my Instagram. This one is by Emily Call Stitching. I can't remember if I showed it to you in the first part or not, but here's a picture of what it's gonna look like. And here is where I'm at. Now I'm doing this on embroidery cotton, and I didn't like sew the edges or tape it because I didn't realize how much it was gonna fray. But I mean, look how small the design is, so I'm not worried about it. If you've never stitched on embroidery cotton, I highly suggest it. It is so soft. It is so fun to stitch on. This, as I can best figure, is a 28 count, but there you go. So it just says, I am brave, and it's got these flowers going all around. So I thought I was going to be able to get this done in a couple of sittings because this went so fast, but then I got into the flower and I got so bogged down. So, so I decided I was going to try to finish this week, but then I was like, you know what? No, I need to take my time with it and not get frustrated, burnt out by it, because I have another one that I want to do that has a little bit more of a story behind it. And, but this one is for a friend who needs to be reminded sometimes that she is brave. She's gone through a lot of stuff, and just needs a gentle reminder every so often. So that's that. Oh, I'm doing all these are Classic Colorworks, I think. Yeah, it's Colonial Rose. Oh, what happened to the green? Toasted Marshmallow. And this is one of my favorites, English Ivy. So, loving those. Okay. Then I stitched a little birthday cake. If you've been around, you know that I was going to try to get this done by my birthday, which is Wednesday, next Wednesday, the 10th. But that's not going to happen. So I'm just stitching it. It's kind of a focus. I'm not going to burn myself out. I need to drink that before it gets cold. But here's where I started the week with it. And here is where I'm at now. So I think all I did was this purple star here. And then I came down here and did this orange one. So, little progress is still progress. My dog is sniffing under the door. Okay. Wellerman. I didn't touch Wellerman, so I'm not even going to show you that one. Then I had a new start, which brings me to an exciting announcement. I have opened an Etsy shop selling full coverage cross stitch patterns. So they're kind of big. They are very full coverage with a lot of colors. I'm trying to keep it around 100, um, but yeah, so head over to Etsy, Captain Stitchy Bug, all one word. And I think I'll be doing a giveaway for some patterns in the near future. One of the ones that I have on my shop is this one right here. I'm calling this St. Peter's in Spring. This is the church that my brother-in-law and sister-in-law got married in Germany. I took that picture one day before the wedding. Our Airbnb was across the street from the church. So I was just doing some exploring while everybody was doing wedding stuff, and went around into the churchyard and yeah, saw or took that picture, and I was like, I have to make a cross stitch pattern out of that. So I started it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see my progress because I am using, I don't remember the color, 3756, which is such a pale blue that looks almost white. But I started in the upper left hand corner. Yeah, you can sort of see it. Started in the upper left hand corner and just started going. Doing extreme cross country. There's 3,000-ish of these stitches. I think I got like 55 done on here. So this is just there's no goal, there's no rules for this one. It's just, whatever I want to do. So yeah, if you're wondering about that blue mark, that's just a note to myself saying that my top row, or my first row in the box, starts on the gray line and ends on the gray line. So it's just a little water soluble marker that I use for that. So anyway, so excited to start this, and so excited to be able to tell you guys about my Etsy shop. So I will let you know that I do design the pictures with AI, so if you have a problem with that, then I'll just say there are a ton of other designers who don't do that. So, and I don't necessarily say that I'm a designer, but I do put a lot of work into my prompts and getting pictures just the way I want them. So, do what you will with that. All right, so I think that is it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm going to go enjoy my chai because caffeine. I actually woke up with a bit of a headache because my back and neck have been hurting me all week, but yeah, there's not really much happening in the way of life updates at the moment. Car's in the shop just for maintenance. My iPad is old, 2018, and it was starting to just shut off randomly, as if it had like low battery. And then I turn it back on and I'd be like, oh, I have some charge left, why did it shut off? Well, it's been doing that a lot, like 30-minute intervals now. And even if it has a full charge, when I try to turn it on, it still says you need to plug me in. So I think it's about time for a new iPad. And I use that for Markup RXP. And at this point, I'm kind of firmly into Apple products. So, and I know how to use Markup RXP. So kind of just thinking I'm gonna just, save up and try to get a new iPad. I just priced them out. We're talking over $1,000, which is absolutely insane. Hold on, lady. So I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, as long as I keep it plugged in, it's fine. I just need to make sure to export my progress. yeah, I need to go do that. Anyway, don't have any upcoming trips. Like I said, next week's my birthday. I'll talk more about that in the next video. But I don't plan on, doing anything exciting or really starting any new projects for my birthday. Like I said, I was trying to get a finish on birthday cake. I am going to do the gridiron grind by Lady. Hold on. She's such a cav. They hate closed doors. I'm doing gridiron grind through Full Coverage Fanatics on Facebook. I'm starting the regular season, which is on Sunday, tomorrow. And I do have a couple projects, which I'll show you in the next video. So I'm hoping that I can keep up with that, because I'm going to do one project. You stitch a number of stitches for, you know, however many points your team scores. My team is the Broncos. I'm also adding an opponent score on it, which is going to be a separate piece. So anyway, I'll get into that in the next video. But she is being so rude. Oh my goodness. She is the queen of this house and she knows it. But anyway, reading, still working on Drifters by James Michener. I've been working on that since April. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Life is pretty routine. So anyway, I got peaches, Palisade peaches. If you're not aware of Palisade peaches, next time you're in Colorado in late August, early September, you got to get yourself some Palisade peaches. Palisade is on the western slope, and their claim to fame is their peaches. They're so juicy and huge and just wonderful. I got some from a friend's daughter who's doing a fundraiser, but I didn't pick them up in time, so now they're kind of mushy, which stinks, but you know, it's a good lesson that they need to be picked up immediately. I was supposed to be up in Denver. They were up in Denver, so it wasn't like I could just quickly go over to pick them up. I was supposed to be in Denver on Tuesday, but my meeting got canceled, so I didn't go up till Thursday, and then by Thursday, they're done. So I think I'm going to go down to Pueblo today, because the bank that I have my money at, the closest branch is in Pueblo, which is about a half hour south of me. 20 minutes. Hey guys, I am sitting on my porch editing, and I realized that I wasn't too happy with the ending that I recorded, so I'm gonna re-record it. Basically all I need to say is that I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. You know, they're always fun to make. But if you did, please give me a like. Comment down below, let me know what you're stitching, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you did. Oh, somebody's making barbecue. But yeah, I hope that you guys have a fantastic week and a productive week of stitching, and I will see you all next week. Mwah.